Oh no.
People are here. We can't see anybody though.
I see Art.
You see a picture of Art, I think.
Oh, that's not the real Art. Let's see. I need to do this. And
There you are. Hi, Art.
there I am.
Hi there.
I don't know. Maybe the picture's better. I don't know which one's best, Leroy. I don't know. I'm sure. They requested I get a lower resolution camera, Art. I didn't appreciate that.
Say again?
They suggested that I get a lower resolution camera.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's an insult or not.
They wanted me to get one lower resolution. I assume they didn't want to look at me that good, that much. But me and Leroy, the handsomest guys on here normally, till you show up, of course.
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
Good luck.
So what's going on, Art? What are you doing out there?
Well,
A lot of partying?
I'm sorry?
A lot of partying?
Not hardly. I haven't been out of the house. I've been out of the house 4 times since March 13th. So.
What they got you guys locked down, or?
I'm sorry?
They got you locked down?
That's correct. And when you're out in public, you gotta go with, definitely have to go with a mask. Maintain 6 foot separation. What my wife has been doing to do the shopping is number of the stores, grocery stores, Costco, etc., have senior hours, and they're generally the first hour that they're open in the morning. And in the case of Costco, they're open an hour earlier for the seniors, and they check your, first of all, they card you to make sure you're a senior, and then they, there's this long line to get into the store. And then she says when she's there, there are not a lot of people in the store. It varies from store to store, but yeah, we're living through it, hopefully. It looks like we're going to have the same thing, the distance learning for school this fall, but it may be academic in my case, not no pun intended, because the enrollment is down so much that my classes may not even meet. So the last time I checked, first of all, I got bumped out of one of them by full-time faculty. Since I'm adjunct, I stand behind the full-time faculty where they're qualified. In the case of the PLC courses, nobody's qualified, so I teach those 2 classes. The last time that I checked, which is about 3 or 4 days ago, there was 1 student enrolled in each class, so they will not let me teach the class for 1 student. So,
yeah.
So, and it looks like the whole Cal State system and the UC system and the community college system is going to be on remote learning, remote teaching, whatever you want to call it, through the fall. Now, there are some exceptions. They're trying to make arrangements to set up some of the lab courses so that they can teach those on campus, subject to a whole bunch of conditions. But that's remains to be seen. But some of the things, you know, we got a big cosmetology program. Well, how do you teach cosmetology without people's involved and so forth and so on? So it's the classic Chinese curse. May you live in interesting times. Hi, Vincenzi.
Hi, Art, how are you?
Good, and you?
Almost ready for moving.
On the way to what?
We are signing next Monday a new house.
So when will you actually move if it goes down Monday?
Well, we will be moving for a week or so. The 3rd of August will be the truck moving the main stuff.
Boy, that is, I do not envy you at all. I mean, it's nice to go to a new house.
I hate to
Moving
package.
is awful.
I have, as you have those drawers in your back, where I have a full wall of components, of electronic stuff. I hate to move that. But
Yeah. Whoops. Oh, Steve.
what's going on? What's going on?
Steve is here, but we can't see him.
It doesn't
Welcome
look
back,
like we'll
Steve.
be able to hear him. Patty,
Hi, hero.
my wife said that when this lockdown first happened, this was my ideal situation because I don't really like going anywhere. I don't really like doing stuff. So I get to stay home the whole time. As this continues on, I really want to go somewhere and do stuff. I'm not so sure I really like staying home so much.
Same here.
Ah, there's Steve.
There's
Oh,
Mr.
there's Steve.
Jones.
Oh,
Steve,
We can see the top of his head at least.
Can't hear him.
oh, microphone should be on.
There.
Oh, well, there you hear him. Yeah.
Yeah, we hadn't seen Steve for a while. Good to see you, Steve.
Thank you. Apologies. It's been crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's been crazy everywhere. It's even crazy in California, believe it or not. That's what Art's telling us.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Just fine. I seem to remember when the Linux meeting is going to be the Sunday after it was yesterday.
Yeah. Well, the last one got canceled, and the next one is going to be a review of Mint 20. And it's tomorrow. It's this coming Saturday, day after tomorrow.
Okay.
I
I'll
upgraded.
send out a.
Oh,
is there still people using Linux?
More and more every day.
I upgraded one of the machines to 20. I'm not real sure if I wanted to do that or not. It got rid of some stuff that I actually used.
You can put almost everything back.
Yeah, I did, but it was more of a pain than I wanted to go through.
Yeah, Chromium is far more difficult than it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
There's a chat button at the bottom, folks. They were always trying to chat at Steve.
Oh,
So what's going on, Leroy? You up to anything?
Last night I finished the Arduino software for Mr. Hero Jr. here. And as I was going through it, plugging stuff back in, I think I knocked a cord or a cable loose, and my reverse went out on it again. So I've got forward working, but not reverse. The turning works. I came up with a way to update the LEDs so that it doesn't cause problems with receiving new stuff. So I've got it. I'm still losing probably about 10% of the packets, which is not bad.
Oh yeah, pass those around. You got any coffee in there?
Other than that, I'm not real sure. I could turn it on if you want, and we can play around, but I don't know how well you guys will be able to see it or not.
I will be happy to see it.
See if I can set it up. Right, I'll have to hold it. So I've got everything wired up in here. The Raspberry Pi's doing what it's supposed to do. As soon as the Raspberry Pi comes on. Everything works the way it's supposed to work. I can log into the Raspberry Pi on the Hero. And I go into the software for doing the MQTT. And I restart the Arduino, and here in a couple seconds it should say all the stuff that it's subscribed to. And then I can do I'm going to raise it up. So if I send this next command right now, the wheel should move forward. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if you can see the wheel moving or not.
Yeah.
So if I see,
You need to talk louder to make your screen get bigger.
so if I say that, set that down there. And then I can also
Now,
to turn. So if I send a command from this computer and tell it to turn, say, to 0 degrees. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it turned. And then I can have it turn the opposite direction and go clear back around. And then I can have it go back to 90 degrees. And all the LEDs work now, but that's about as far as I've gotten with it. So that's
Cool.
I'm going to have to go back in and figure out which wire. I know which wire is broken, but I've got to figure out where it's actually broken at. I know which one it is or what color it is. So that'll make it easier to trace, maybe. And that's about it.
Very
I
good.
actually had it running down on the floor, drove it around the corner. Much harder to control using sending messages like I'm sending them. It's a lot harder to control than just having a program to do it. So those are the message topics that I send: to drive it, to steer it. S means stop, F means forward, R would be reverse. And this is the topic where it's telling you what command it received and what to do, what it's doing. So
Are you planning to put a camera in the hero, a camera to follow people or tags
I
or
wasn't sharing
whatever?
my screen. I was planning on leaving that as an option. Up in his head, I was going to run like a USB extension up there so we could plug extra stuff in to it. That's down the road a little bit. So that there you can see the commands that I was talking about there.
Uh-huh.
And typing all that out, even sorting back through it, is actually pretty slow when you're watching it drive, getting ready to crash into a wall. And there's the topics that tell you what it. So it, it heard for the motor to go forward there and stop there, and it heard the 3 turn commands when I turned the servo. So that's it. That's all I got. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. I'm just here. You're up, Jim.
Who's Rick and Marty?
So what is the angular granularity for your turns?
So the servo is, I think I decided that it was 230, 240 degrees, something like that. I've got it from 0 to 180. So it's actually mapped in the program. I know you may not be able to see, but right there. So when I send a 0, it's actually going to the 65 position, and when I send a 180, it's actually going to the 120 position.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just seemed easier than trying to refigure all that stuff out. I'm thinking about changing that to like a -90 to a +90 instead of the full sweep. And then I could say the negative numbers would have it turn to the left and the positive numbers would have it turn to the right. But that's just a matter of changing a line of code and re-uploading the code. And I don't have any Python code written yet to take advantage of it, I don't think. Maybe for talking, but that's the only Python code I've written right now. So there's still a lot of work to do. It's been an experience. I am now sending, instead of sending an RGB color to change the lights on it, I'm now sending all 8 of the LEDs. I'm sending it as red, green, blue, purple, whatever. And then inside the program, I've got it defined as to what those colors actually are. So that was my easy-ish fix for the mouth problem, because I can send the mouth now to, from the Python script, I can send the mouth and have it do the mouth on the robot. That's all I know.
Nice. Yeah.
Very good.
Cool. Now let's see if I can torture people.
There is a skunk in your back.
Well, it's black and white, but it looks tall for a skunk. What happened?
That's me. This is what I was going for.
Okay.
This is our trend line for the deaths, my positive promotion for the week. Looks like we're flattening out as far as overall deaths. Last week, Art, we did talk about a PVR, personal video recorder.
Yeah.
You can go to the discussion group and see which one I got. I bought one. It's basically a ATSC tuner and a recorder on it. It has a scheduler. You can look into the future a little bit with the program scanning on the broadcast channels, but like 8 hours. But you can schedule stuff repeated weekly, repeated daily, whatever you want to do. It'll give you the channel and you can select the time you want to record and if you want to repeat it weekly and that sort of stuff. Looks pretty cool for the people cutting the cord. If you want to record your stuff, it's there. This one's got a USB flash drive option and a USB 3 terabyte drive option. And the picture is as good as it gets. And the tuner seems to be okay. So enough of that. Next is the book of the week. Did you see the book of the week, Art?
It's the latest Michael Conley.
Yeah, I think it came out in November. The audio edition did anyway. It was the standard, what's his name? Bosch.
Yeah.
Bosch click. But if you hadn't read it, it's decent. It's a decent Bosch.
Hieronymus Bosch.
Hieronymus Bosch.
That's him. We have a reader. In the news this week, I saw a couple of things. Graphene is taking over the world slowly, bit by bit. It's making its way into the battery market. It's been in the battery market. Now they're talking about using it as a surfactant. It looks like they may be able to use it in fracking or drilling because it's not a hazardous material and it doesn't degrade at high temperatures and stuff like that. So, interesting stuff. And I got the best free streaming services, the best free services, and also got how to look up the pay-for-view services also. There's a link to those. So if you want to know what's on free TV, Pluto's been adding channels recently. The only one I looked at. I did with my Roku TV. We have AT&T dish. I also look at the First TV to watch Bill O'Reilly. So you can load that on Roku and load all sorts of apps. That's a free channel. On Wix, our discussion group, I put information about the personal video recorder out there, the one that I got, and discuss what it is, what it does. They have pretty much have it down. It's a little crude, but it's pretty much nailed down. It's not bad software to use. Not bad. Apparently you want to make sure they're in a nice place to stay cool. This is $30. All right, even you could afford that.
Yeah, gee, wouldn't have to take out a loan for that.
Yeah.
Still have to get permission.
But, pretty good for that. And you probably have a lot of stations there. Or Vicente's probably got a lot of stations over in his neighborhood, broadcast stations. And they're expanding those because they have sub-channels, and they're selling off the sub-channels. So you can create your own TV channel pretty cheaply. And anything more? Nope. So Vicente, what you got?
A lot of boxes
Boxes that are packed?
for packing, yeah. I rented a trash container, a big one. There is in the driveway, and I throw away everything there. What kind of stuff? Pieces of carpets, pieces of hardwood, ceramics, spare stuff, some pieces of wood, solidified concrete bags. I used to buy a bag to do some repair, and after a while, all the bag becomes solid, you know, the concrete with the humidity, ends solid. A lot of stuff I am throwing away. Other stuff will go to the Salvation Army. They will come the next week with a truck to take some sofas and some stuff. Just a lot of decisions. I am not progressing too much with my emulator of the ruler, computer ruler. It's working, but I need to integrate the real-time clock and the sleeping function. But I bought this 2 terabytes drive for $70 from Amazon to make some backups. Because when you move, something can go wrong with your computer. I'd rather copy everything. Copy in a standard drive. There is an echo. You see? Hello, hello? Hello?
Yeah.
We hear you.
So that's it. I need to pack everything. My son crashed the car against the container going back. One of the car is without the rear window and the rear light and everything broken. Nice time to lose a car for the moving. Because the next week the car will be several days in the repairing shop. They need to buy a new rear window and one stop light. That's it. the news.
Okay. What about you, Steve? What's going on with you?
Not a lot. I kind of perked up when you were talking about TV tuners. Hold on a second.
You got to have $30 though.
No, mine was a little more than that. I've got a Silicon Dust Dual, and I just checked, and these are the channels that I get where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
Out of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That's not many. How many you got there? Oh, okay. There's a bigger list. Have to scroll through it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 53 lines. So,
Wow.
and I never heard of Dabble.
You have a page antenna or a sheet antenna or a real antenna?
I have a real antenna. Was on top of the house when I moved in and been there all along. Seems to work really well.
I have rabbit ears. I have
Huh?
rabbit ears, and I get a lot more Cincinnati stations than what I thought I was getting. But
Really,
I
on
probably
rabbit
get
ears.
about 30 stations or so.
Huh.
But I have a good mix. I've got some stations from Dayton and Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't get squat from Dayton, and I used to be able to. I don't know what happened with that.
Rescan your TV. They change frequencies on a lot of the Dayton stations.
Yeah.
Well, being from out of town, I see one thing there that I didn't believe was real. WKRP is actually a real station.
It is now. It wasn't when the TV show was on.
Okay.
And all of the 25s are religious channels. And they have an interesting lineup of programming.
What about Create? What about 48.2 Create?
Oh, yeah, big fan of that. That's got This Old House, and I don't know. That's PBS.
Okay.
Okay.
Comet is neat. They show old science fiction movies. I have no idea what Dabble is. That wasn't there the last time I looked.
Dabble is it's like a home and gardens kind of thing.
Never mind.
And it's English, so they're showing a lot of homes in England for some reason, and then they play Kitchen Nightmares every now and then, and I don't know. Dabble's a weird station. The best station is 19.2 H&I.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, 8 p.m.
I'm back. Watch your eyes. It's gonna get shocking. Yeah, that's the personal video recorder, the $30 one on Amazon. It's actually cheaper on Amazon. I try to avoid them, but they're making me buy stuff from them now. Over the air broadcast. It has an analog output. Apparently, it has a HDMI output. It has a pass through. You can send it to channel 3 and channel 4 if you have an old analog set. The HDMI 1080p output is just, it's that. What it is. It's perfect. real-time recording. You can flip the recorded button if you want at any time. It'll start recording. USB and it says up to 2 terabytes on the external hard drive via USB. It does consume quite a bit of disk space, like 2 gigs
Yeah.
in 30 minutes or something like that. And it's
Really?
not, yeah, it's not a standard format either. I got Kenny trying mine out with a 32 gig USB stick flash drive, flash memory, whatever they call it. This one does not support the QAM, whatever it is, for the cable companies. Some of them do support QAM, so you could use it as a tuner. This particular one doesn't. So back to you, Art. What you got? Exciting.
Last time I was in Cincinnati or Milford, I invested in 3 Ubiquiti access points. And I had somebody come in and clamber through the insulation in my attic. I guess you could call it an attic. It's a crawl space above the house filled with fluffy, itchy insulation. And he put in a number of cables for me, Cat5 cables. And I installed 2 of the Ubiquiti access points, various points in the house. But this happened like on the 11th hour before we were rushing to catch a plane back to California. So I never got them configured. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Ubiquiti access points. Actually, they're called Unify access points. They work pretty well when you have them configured. So I brought one of them back to California. I've got it configured here, and it's got fantastic range. It's called the long range version. It's UAP-AC-LR. At any rate, I've got it configured here and it works just fine. The problem is I've been working on trying to get the 2 in Milford configured long distance. Well, that looks like a non-starter, so it's going to have to wait until I get back there. But I strongly recommend them if you've got a pretty good sized budget. I got to tell you, the access points are about $110 a piece on Amazon. And these are PoE AF version. And that is really handy because that way you don't have to run power to them other than just having a Cat5e or Cat6 cable. So I'm really become a fan of the PoE. I've become a fan of Ubiquiti, but I'm still puzzling with how to get those that are in Milford configured. And it's not the kind of thing which I can hand off to my daughter or son-in-law and say, here, you just follow these 25 steps and it'll work right away. They're a little complicated to set up. They don't have the usual just web interface to configure them. They've got a special controller that you either run
We're out of time.
in the cloud or you run